What?
Go ahead. My video
We
wasn't
can
working.
know one thing, that God always makes a way for you. He loves you no matter what circumstance you have put your life into or someone else has put your life into. He loves you, he sees you, and he pursues you. So we have mud sometimes that affects us. And I just got off a 2-3 week road trip, I can't remember, and we went to the west coast of Washington, and we on our way there we drove through Idaho, and I thought, I'm going to see this old friend I haven't seen for 11 years. And it was a great visit. We had lunch together, and at the very end she made a comment that pricked my heart. It made my self-confidence fall. It made me feel guilty for mistakes I've made. It made me feel fearful of what people might think of me now, instead of what I am now in Christ Jesus. I am forgiven. I am a child of God. He loves me and he pursues me. And so, but I thought about that and I pondered on that, and I was like, oh my goodness, that's coming all back like a flood. And I thought, what do I do with this, God? And I was listening to a verse. I was listening to Chris Kane, a woman that does a lot of speaking, and she was talking about a verse in the Bible that Jesus used. It's actually, she says, the second shortest verse in the Bible, so there's a bit of trivia for you. Jesus says, remember Lot's wife. Why, when a woman has very little bio in the Bible, she has just a little bit in the Old Testament, we don't even know her name, and yet Jesus, out of all the women in the Bible that have names and are very notable, he says, remember Lot's wife. And I pondered on that, and the one thing that Lot's wife was told, if you remember the story, do I need to rehearse the story a little bit? Sodom and Gomorrah, God was going to destroy it in the Old Testament. And Lot's family, Lot was a righteous man, and God chose to save his family from that destruction. And the one instruction the angel gave to his family was, don't look back. What did Lot's wife do that was significant for Jesus to say, remember Lot's wife? She looked back, and she became a pillar of salt. So I'm trying to say to you that a couple things I'm going to talk about, what we need to do to focus on Jesus instead of our mistakes, is keep looking forward and don't look back. Remember who you are in Christ Jesus. Let's say, can anybody shout out who you are in Christ Jesus? Forgiven.
Daughter.
A daughter. Pursued.
Complete.
Free.
Accepted.
Accepted. And so I could have sat there and thought, that's who I am. That's who they think I am. But then I have to remember that I am looking forward and not get stuck in the past. Don't get stuck on those old things, those hurts that pricked your heart. Remember who you are today. So I was pondering this on my road trip, and then I get to Washington, and I'm fortunate enough to take a sea kayak trip through the San Juan Islands. Oh my goodness, if anybody wants to know a guide service, I'll recommend them, because he was phenomenal. And so it was 3 days paddling and 2 days camping. And most days I had beautiful weather. I did have beautiful weather the whole time, but one day when we had to cross the long channel, an island, he said, look at the island over there, that's where we're heading. I'm like, okay, that's a ways. And that particular day, the wind was higher, the current was stronger, and I had to paddle. He says, I know you guys can, I watched you guys paddle yesterday, you'll be fine. Paddle hard and keep your eye on that shoreline. And as I was doing that and I looked I see the waves going over my boat. I see the waves at where I'm paddling, and it's almost ominous. I'm thinking, what am I doing? This is a lot of water and it's really cold. But then when I looked at the shoreline, I was good. It changed my perspective. And that made me think of Peter. When Peter's story is he in Luke 17:30. I gotta think here. Luke 17:32. No, that's remember Lot's wife. Matthew 14:22 and 23 was Peter saw they were all in the boat. The storm came up, and Jesus wasn't with them. And then they see a figure coming towards them on the water, walking on the water, and then they hear Jesus say, "Take courage. It is I. Do not be afraid." And that's what we need to do, is take courage in our circumstances. Our circumstances look ominous. Those waves look ominous. But I need to keep my eyes focused on Jesus all the time. Not on my current circumstances, not what's in my back rear view mirror, but on Jesus. And the verse Ephesians 6:16 came to mind. In all circumstances, take up the shield of faith, which can extinguish the fiery darts of the evil one. And that's what was going on. He was shooting those darts at me going, you're a failure. You're a mistake. You're not worth, people think bad of you. And I have to put that faith up and say, no, I'm a new creation in Christ. I am new, and I am forgiven, and I am transformed, and this is who I am today. So I just wanted you guys to take courage in that and know that, remember daily, if you have to, who you are. Rehearse those words that y'all said, who you are in Christ. Because God is there, Jesus is there. And what does Jesus do when Peter looks down at the waves? He starts to sink. But what does Jesus do? He reaches out his hands and he saves him, and they crawl into the boat. And that's what he wants to do for you, even in this current situation and in your future situation, whatever it is that's going on in your life. Trust and believe and have faith that God is going to take care of you, and he will make your path straight. And that's it.